Guys, welcome back. This is Shruti Mehrotra from United College of Engineering and Research, Allahabad. Today in this video, I will be discussing certain question and answers of class 9th science. So what are you waiting for? Let's get started. So the question is, you have to list the differences between potential energy and the kinetic energy. So the answer to this question is that we know that any object which is in motion, it possesses kinetic energy, while any object which is in rest position possesses potential energy. The formula for kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, whereas the formula for potential energy is mgh. This extra point you can jot it down in the differences also. Okay. Next point which you can write is that kinetic energy is easily be transferable from one object to another, while when you are talking about potential energy, it cannot be transferable. Next and the last point which you can write is that we require speed, velocity and mass for determining the kinetic energy, while for determination of potential energy we require height or distance and mass, right? Next question is, we encounter many animals on the day-to-day basis. Some of these animals are kept as pets in human homes, such as dogs. How can dogs be classified scientifically? So, for the determination of dogs scientifically, we are classifying them as, if you are talking about their class, it is Mammalia. In order, they are carnivores. In family, they are Canidia. In genus, these are Canis, and in species, these are Familiaris, right? Next question is, we come across wide range of motions every day. Give an example of acceleration which is in the direction of motion and acceleration which is against the direction of motion. So the answer to this question is, while you are driving on a straight road, then that would be the example of acceleration in the direction of motion, while if you are applying the brakes on that car, what happens? That will be the example of acceleration which is against the direction of motion. Next question is, give two examples where we experience inertia in our day-to-day life. So the two examples are, while you are traveling in any of the vehicle, what happens? If the brakes have been applied suddenly, then what happens? You feel jerk, right? And second example you can give is when a shopping cart, or you can say shopping trolley, it is full of objects. What happened? If you push that, what happened? Those objects, they start moving, falling off the trolley. That is because of the inertia. Next question is, describe any two situations where we can feel the effect of buoyancy. So the two situations where we can feel the effect of buoyancy are, the weightlessness which we feel during swimming is because of buoyant force, and while drawing the water from the well from the bucket, what happens? The bucket feels lighter, right? When it is immersed in the water, that is because of the buoyant force which is acting on that bucket. Next question is, in high-speed aircraft testing zone, the windows of buildings are reinforced. Why is this important? So some jet planes can travel faster than the speed of sound, as we know, right? And the jet planes also produce sound. Since speed is greater than the speed of the sound, so they produce shock waves in the air. So we know that the speed of the jet planes is more as compared to the speed of their sounds. So what happens? Because of this is a change difference in the speed, certain shock waves have produces in the air, right? And these shock waves, they can shut the window glasses, so which is why these windows are reinforced. And the air pressure variation due to these air shocks waves produce a loud sound which are referred to as sonic booms. So you can define the sonic booms here also, or if you don't know about sonic booms, it's not required for you to describe. Otherwise you just have to write the reason why these glass windows, they have been reinforced, right? Because of the shock waves. Next and the last question is, give 2 examples of diseases which can arise from the formation of puddles due to excessive rain and poor drainage system. So the 2 examples you can take are the rainwater which is not drained properly can become breeding ground for mosquitoes. Okay, and we know that mosquitoes are the carrier of diseases because they can carry dengue, malaria and many other chronic diseases, right? So hence these diseases can arise in the areas where the rainwater puddles are left unattended. So we should have the proper drainage system for these rainwater, right? So thank you for watching. If you have any doubt, comment me in the comment section. See you again.